Well, good Friday morning, everyone. I'm Kelly Knapp.
And I'm Lee Barrows.
Welcome to another um, edition of the Live and Local Real Talk.
And TGIF.
Yes.
I'm happy.
We've made it through the first week
Don't anyone
of
call
us.
me tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going to try to sleep
Tomorrow will be a
past 5
sleep-in
o'clock.
day. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It'd be
So
nice.
it's a pretty good morning out there so far.
Yes, we're expecting some thunderstorms and lots of rain today.
Yeah. The sky was beautiful this morning, though.
Yes, it
I took
was.
matter of fact, I need to post it on my
Well, it was
Facebook
still a
page.
little bit dark when I came in,
It
but
was
it
red
was.
over by my house.
Oh, really?
It was gorgeous. Yes.
Wow.
Looked very cool. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, I'm loving these cooler weathers. I know 80s is probably not cool to a lot of people,
I
but
love it.
here in the South, we love it.
I mean, I like warm weather anyway, but I like low humidity.
Yes.
So
That's what's so
yeah.
beautiful about it. The humidity. Oh my gosh, it's so low right now. You can actually walk outside and breathe.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Oh, we
Yeah.
went through about a 3-4 week period. It
Woo.
was high in the 90s. Heat index is over 100, and it
Yep.
was so humid you couldn't even.
You
I couldn't
couldn't.
even get my windshield clear in the morning driving
Same.
here.
Yeah.
The wipers were going
Yep.
continuously. I had the
I had
defogger
the
on.
same problem. Yep. And
Maybe it's something about those GMCs. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know, but right now it's awesome.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is beautiful. Absolutely.
Mhm.
And I know with the rain expected today, later into this afternoon, some of the football games were moved to Thursday night, and Jacksonville Southwest was moved to last night. I heard
Mhm.
all the hoopla out
Mhm.
because I live behind the school, but Jacksonville won the game 14-0. So
Oh,
congratulations,
get it.
Cardinals.
Good job, Cards.
I know Rayford will be happy
He'll
to
be
hear
happy.
that
It's
too.
his alma mater.
That's
Yeah.
my alma mater
Yeah.
too.
Yep.
So go Cards.
Yeah.
A great start to the season.
Yeah. So that's always a pretty big rivalry. So
Yes. And
um,
if you didn't know, WSME was out there live on the radio doing the game because
they broadcast.
we do all the Jacksonville games. So just another way to listen.
Yeah,
I should have
absolutely.
known last night when I walked out and I heard all the noise and I thought, well, JV is Thursday night and that should have been moved. That's usually at the other, it'll be at Southwest and then the
Yeah.
home game will be at Jacksonville.
Mhm.
And I did not know they had moved it, so I missed it completely.
Yeah.
But 14-0, go Cards.
Yeah. So that's good.
So other than that, I know there's some other area football games, around Eastern North Carolina that be played tonight, pending the weather. So we'll see what happens. But I think we started last season like that.
Oh yeah.
A lot of rain on Friday night.
Hmm.
Yeah. So anything going on in your world?
No, it's Friday. So no,
I
I
had a
got the
lot.
day right today.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Well, I
know.
don't know. I think I was the one that started that because we were
Mhm.
coming in the door and I was like, one more day till Friday.
Mhm.
And you agreed.
Yeah.
And both of us were just stuck on Thursday. It was like Groundhog Day yesterday. I said, didn't we do Thursday
I
already?
know because Wednesday I tried to make it Thursday.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
just having a moment. But,
It has those. Yeah, we
yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
We definitely do that. So what's new in the news today?
Well, one of the things that the Charlotte Observer actually talked about was, and they're right. I got to thinking about this after I read the article. When it's raining, oftentimes it's for some reason North Carolina they've done this series that the road lines are hard to see in the rain.
Oh, absolutely.
And they're not wrong. And they
Right.
were saying, how has the NCDOT tried to fix them? Well, once again, another very good question.
Yeah, how do you fix them?
Yeah,
That's interesting.
because more than half of the fatal and serious injury crashes in the state are caused by lane departure, where someone can't, either hydroplane or they can't see the road markings or whatever. So apparently, the NCDOT, which I haven't noticed this, but who knows where it's happening at? Maybe it has around here, and I just haven't seen it. Have begun striping them with markings that you can see at night.
The glow.
I guess
the
I haven't seen
fluorescent
them, but
type
yeah.
paint. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I do understand
And
that.
yeah, it's some kind of so what they started to do. So from 2014 to 2017, they lane markings featured glass beads embedded in plastic paint. They applied them to 400 miles of rural two-lane roads, and when they are put on right, I don't know how wrong could it be, but that's literally what it says. The beads can redirect light back to their source, the headlights of a car. And it's called retro reflection. So that means drivers can be able to see the light coming from the striping. So they did a study that the paint, which can last up to 5 years longer than regular paint, had led to a 13% reduction in the lane departure crashes. Cool. All right. I like that. Um, however, while lane markings with the glass beads are easy to see at night, when it rains, they make them invisible. Who
What?
knew? Yeah, it's what it says. So when it rains, the glass beads are covered in water, which causes headlights to bounce off the wet surface and you can't see them. And then also tire wear and snow plows also affect them. Once again, who knew? So all the DOT has managed to do is give a tip on what you should do for driving in the rain. So they really haven't said how we're going to fix this problem, which is, what we thought they would do. So they say, slow down and allow more time to reach your destination.
Mm-hmm.
Be ready for sudden stops or
Increase
changing
your
road
following
conditions.
distance, yes.
Allow at least twice the following distance.
That's right.
Signal for turns and brakes earlier than
In
usual.
advance, right.
Turn your headlights on. Well, mine come on automatically, so don't worry about
Right.
that. And use your defroster to increase visibility.
Right.
But nothing, I guess, in these, they need to have like a think tank or something to go in and try to figure out what kind of paint will work, since clearly the glass paint doesn't in the rain.
I imagine the glass paint and the reflections from the headlights. I imagine there's just stuff everywhere.
Well, here's what I say about that. So let's say somebody lives in, I don't know, Seattle or Washington State somewhere. It rains a lot there. I mean, I couldn't live up there because to me it's just too rainy.
Right.
Well, what do?
I don't know.
So maybe
question.
we should, the state of North Carolina should contact a state that gets a whole bunch of rain and say, what do you do to kind of make the lines on the road easier to see? I'm sure if 3M can make that kind of paint for this, come on, they can't make something you can see when it's wet. There
Well,
has to be something.
Have you ever been like in a town that you've never been in before, so you're not familiar with the roads?
Correct.
And it's raining,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of traffic. You can't see the lines. People are driving crazy.
Yep.
That's enough right there to give you a nervous
It
breakdown.
can. So exactly. So come up with something universal. There has to be something. There has to be.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure if they can put a rocket into space, they can find something here.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And but I appreciate though when they go back and they redo the lines, and because some of your roadways, the lines are wearing out. It's hard to see at night, but for me around here, I'm very familiar with roads because,
Mhm.
like you, we've been here. I grew up here. But when you go to some other places and you're not sure, and sometimes it's just hard to do. And I don't know if you've noticed, but the way they're doing parking lots now with new businesses
Mhm.
and all these islands and all these only one direction in, one direction out, you got to go up here to
It's
turn
awful.
around.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
There's been a few parking lots around here. I have questioned the sanity of whoever designed them.
There's been a few I've
Yeah.
kind of driven up over the little,
thing. Yeah.
because, and that's like there's one furniture store on Western Boulevard, and sometimes I'll cut through that parking lot to go to the store next to it as to avoid having to go 2 lights down and make a U-turn. But you get in and you just about have to stop and inch your way around the median because there's median on both sides and it's at an angle and it's curved. And I'm like, who did this?
Yeah.
What's the purpose?
Well, have you also noticed that the parking space sizes of a lot of places
Yes.
are smaller?
Yes, they are.
What is happening?
I usually find
Yeah.
myself parking way out,
You have
maybe
to.
towards the end, just so I can get my truck in there, and then I'll
I
walk,
do that,
which is
and
good for
sometimes I
you.
want the steps. So, but yeah,
Yes.
but sometimes you have to. Otherwise, you're gonna get your car scratched up
Right.
or whatever or you can't get your door open because you're too
Right.
close. Yeah, no, I'm convinced they're doing it on purpose.
Now we've got everybody riled up. All
Yeah.
your pet peeves, give us
Yeah.
a call and let us know how you feel about it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't be the only one that I agree with the whole you can't see the lines on the road thing, and they need to find a paint for that. And B, that I'm aggravated that in a lot of new places the parking spaces are too small.
Right.
Not everybody
Now-
drives little tiny toy cars.
I know this has been a
Yeah.
source of contention for a lot of people, but Piney Green Road,
Mhm.
I just don't get why they didn't put more turns on that.
Agreed.
You want to turn into like Centerview Church on the left, you got to go a couple blocks down, make a U-turn and come back up. It's just craziness the way they designed that road.
And once again, they were probably drunk when they did it. But that's my theory.
Yes, probably so.
Good morning, Tim. How are you?
Oh, yeah, your show ain't long enough for me to have all the pet peeves I got just out here on the highway.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
But
you
you're
this
on the
see
time,
highway.
everything because you drive
Yes.
trucks, so I know you see it
Molly,
all.
no.
And you
I
got that
mean,
big
I
truck.
started. I started counting how many people pull out in front of me, and my average is about 6 a day.
That's terrible.
They'll
That's
pull
terrible.
out. You got to watch all the time. But as far as talking about the rain, Virginia, I know, especially on I-77, you get way up on top, up above Fancy Gap. They got a different type of reflector than what we got here. I mean, the reflectors in the road help out a lot, but they're not on every road.
Well, see,
Um,
we need to figure out what they're using and use it on our roads.
I know, but when I used to drive up all in Virginia, you get up there in them hills and mountains. I mean, you could come up, even be a foggy area, and your lights would hit it. And when you get close enough to it, it looks like they disappeared. They didn't; they were there, but it went to the next one. But these reflectors out here on these main highways, they help out a lot. That was one of the best things they ever done. I remember them putting when they put glass in the paint, and it did help. But unless I got to, if it's raining, I try to be home.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just because
I do the
these
same.
people, and it's just like when I lived in Jacksonville, Florida for 4 years. I don't know what it was about that, but if it rained, I think everybody got in their car and run up and down Roosevelt Boulevard and Timaquana and all that. Oh man, they were crazy.
Yeah.
Turn Third Street and it go wow.
I've had my days having to work in the rain, like when I delivered mail and it would be pouring out there and you're trying to pull off the side of the road without sliding on
Oh
the
yeah.
wet grass and into a ditch and hit the
My,
mailbox, and you've got traffic going by you at such a high rate of speed. They're splashing water all over your vehicle. You can't see. Yeah, when it rains, I stay home.
yeah.
You have to.
And Morehead City. From Morehead City and part of Newport's about the worst areas I go to, and I'm not picking on old people, but they'll pull out now. You see them at an intersection, they're way far off, and they're just sitting there. You know what they're doing.
Right.
And when you get real close to them, I need to go. I need to get in front of that truck. I got to get in front of that truck. And they'll pull right out. And they'll run about 10 miles an hour.
Yes.
And I've seen them not go over 200 yards, and all of a sudden they stop to make a right-hand turn.
Oh, gosh.
Now, I'm weighing 80 to 90,000 pounds. You just really don't want to do that in front of me.
Exactly.
Oh, yes.
But they do it. And now, the ticklest I get is if I have to go to Walmart in Morehead City and the contractor tell me where to drop the machine off. You better not, boy. And if he tells you, drop over there in the pickup lane where they pick up the groceries. Man, you don't want me to do that.
Sure. You get
Because I'll get cussed out. Oh, man, and I have even told them, ma'am, look, they're bringing you groceries. I'll put them in your car. You ain't put nothing in my car. You're going to get out of the way. Well, ma'am, I can't get out of the way. This is a designated place. You've got to get out of the way. And the men around there, they'll stop there and look at me, and they'll start laughing. Say, yeah, he's getting his butt chewed out today, ain't he? And they have a good time with it. But thank God I don't have to go up there that much anymore. I think they're about done doing all they got to do there. But, yeah, it's tough.
Well, you're going to get your traveling done early today because we have a lot of rain coming in this afternoon.
Well, I got to work in the rain, honey. I mean, I got to. Oh, I am. That is one thing that I really, really hate is working in the rain. I hate it.
Yeah.
And as soon as the rain starts falling, I get ill. And the more it falls, the madder I get. And it's just,
I've delivered.
I got to live through it.
I've delivered mail in tropical storms. Because, at
Oh,
that
yeah.
time the post office was like, no, unless the winds get to 50 miles an hour, get out there and deliver the mail. Well, look, it doesn't take like 25 miles an hour for a tree limb to come down.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's been rough. And I remember one year I was delivering and we had a hurricane coming in. And I sailed that route. Of course, we had very light mail. We only took out first class that day. But by noontime, and I was over in North Side, and that was the last part of my route. And I just finished the route. I was around 12:20, and the boss called, come in, cut your mail off, come in. And I was like, well, I'm done. But that's freaky to be out there, and you've got storms coming in like that. I don't think the last time.
No, the last time I went through a storm, I can't remember what hurricane it was, but I had to go to Charlotte. And when I left Charlotte with the machine, I come back around, and it dropped down to a tropical storm.
Right.
And I won't never forget, my supervisor called me and asked me, where you at? And I told him, and I had the weather app watching the weather the whole time.
Oh yeah.
And I went through one rain band, and my supervisor called me and said, look, that if you need to pull over and get a hotel room, you'll be fine. I said, well, I'm going to hit the next rain band right outside of Raleigh. I think I'm going to. If you need a hotel room, then you get it. You get it. I mean, she was so concerned. That's hard. Love her to death. She was so concerned about it. I made it on through because, like I said, it wasn't that bad. And I have drove through storms before. But that was the last one I've been in. And, yeah, the wind was pretty tough, but I weighed so much that it didn't bother me that bad. Now, some of these trucks, I watched them, they were going down the road, and the trailers were leaning because they were probably hit me. Oh, yeah, wind blowing. But, yeah,
I drove through a tropical storm going to my brother's wedding in Charleston, South Carolina, and I had to get up on that big bridge. And the wind I was scared to death.
It ain't even got to be a big wind on that one.
Yeah, I think those days are over for me. I'd just rather sit at home. I love being home.
That Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel up yonder, that's no joke neither when the wind's blowing.
I'm scared to go through that. I'm not claustrophobic, but I almost like lose my breath driving through that. Everybody's like, why are you so worried? I said, what if this springs a leak, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like make one of those Lifetime movies, man. Whew.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've been.
And when on your bridge and you come down and there's nothing but water below you, I'm like, no, because you're getting ready to go into the tunnel. Thank you, but no.
A leak? I said, no.
I'll go to the west.
I said, why? I said, well, why? They said, well, they just reported that this Nissan ship hit the tunnel.
Oh, my gosh.
Said, thank God. And they shut it down.
Oh, my gosh.
He was a little bit too far to one side, and he just did bump the turn with the ship. So, okay. Well, we didn't go back through there for a while.
I'd be going West 40 and coming all the way up and hitting 85 or something, going around everything.
Well, look, we've enjoyed this week. You got 2 more weeks to go. Y'all, the Hen House Chronicles are alive and well, and we appreciate it. Y'all have done real well this week.
Thank you.
And I will talk to y'all later.
We appreciate you calling.
Yeah, be safe later on today. It's going to be raining.
Be safe.
I will. Y'all think about me when I'm out here soaking wet.
I will.
You know.
I may try to get up with you on Sunday if you don't have nothing planned.
That'll be fine. Okay. I'll be around.
How about Saturday? Are you going to be around Saturday?
I'll be around Saturday after this rain. I'm going to be right there at the house. I'm going to be bush hogging pastures.
Because my sister and I really want to go to the museum Saturday, and we might just swing back by on the way back.
Yeah.
Just give me a holler.
Okay. I will do that. Thank you so much.
All right. Yes, ma'am. All right. Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.
You know, it's great meeting so many great people through the radio, and he's become such a great friend of all of ours.
Same. Yeah,
we just love it when he calls, and his stories are so crazy.
He's got good stories, but he's got a farm with animals. Person, yes. Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a good person. Yeah, he really is.
So, all right, let's take a break, and we'll come back and do some weather. We'll see how rainy it's actually going to be. Yeah. You're live in Local Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. We will be right back. All right, we are ready to do some weather. What you got
Yes, we
for
are.
us?
We got a marine forecast brought to you by Tideline Marine. You know, the fishing season around here really never
Mhm.
ends, but different species prefer different times of the year. Right now, Spanish mackerel are still hot along the coast, even in the intercoastal waterway. Tideline Marine has bait for most every fish in our waters. Check with the staff at the marina. Most are avid fishermen when they're not working, and they hear from fellow anglers, lots of bragging, and they're willing to suggest what equipment to use to bring home fish for dinner. Fish for dinner.
Mhm.
Tideline Marine and Family for all your boating and fishing needs. And don't forget, they have a huge sale going on right now through August 31st. Tideline Marine, located on the banks of New River at 159 Oak Bridge Street in downtown Jacksonville. Today, east winds around 10 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet, dominant period 8 seconds, decreasing to 6 seconds this afternoon. Adjacent sounds and rivers with a light chop. Saturday, southwest winds 5 to 10 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet, dominant period 6 seconds. Adjacent sounds and rivers with a light chop. Patchy fog in the morning, so be careful. Sunday, southwest winds 5 to 10 knots, seas around 2 feet, adjacent sounds and rivers with a light chop.
Today, mostly cloudy, high of 84. Showers and thunderstorms after 1 p.m. Tonight, same. Otherwise, in between the showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy, low of 71. Tomorrow, partly sunny, high of 87. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, low of 73. And on Sunday, it looks like showers likely after 2 p.m. Otherwise, partly sunny, high of 87.
Not
And
bad at
and then
all.
Sunday night's going to rain too.
I
Yeah.
know that we have a
Oh,
low.
and Monday. What is happening?
Yeah, we have that low pressure that's forming in the Gulf,
Uh-huh.
and it's projected to increase. It's a 40% chance that it'll
Mhm.
form in the next 48 hours, but that is forecasted to go into probably around Mexico and Texas.
Mhm.
And you'll probably see a lot of those showers, kind of cross over and
Coming over.
come
Yeah.
at us.
Well, we're
So,
getting them. It's basically it's going to be, raining on and off all weekend starting today. So and through Monday, so till at least Tuesday.
I really
Let me
wish we
see.
would have had that rain at the beginning of the summer.
Yeah.
It's like I
Well.
said, I pulled out my cucumber plants. I know you said you pulled up
Oh, it's
some of
going to rain
yours.
on Tuesday too. Okay, so maybe okay. According to this, wow, Wednesday's 50%. I don't know. We're going to
Yeah.
have some kind of weather from
I don't
now
even
all
look at
week.
next
Yeah,
week's because
it
it's
could
like the
change.
marine
Yeah,
forecast. I could print it up
yeah,
tonight, but by tomorrow morning it may be changed. So I always pull
absolutely.
it as soon as I come in the studio here. But you just don't know what the weather. Weather's weather, and that's one job that
Mhm.
you can have and never have to worry about being wrong. Is being
But
a
also
weatherman
too, a man or woman or
or
weather
woman
person. This
person.
is weatherman. It encompasses everybody, but people hate you if you get it wrong. So I mean, that's like a hated job. They love you when it's right, and they
Right.
hate you when you don't tell. But I mean, they're not fortune tellers. They do the best they can, but
Right.
Mother Nature has a mind of their own. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, she
yeah,
does. She does
yeah.
at that.
And Mother Nature sometimes says, "I know what you told people, but we're going to do it this way
Yeah.
instead."
I know
Yeah.
she can be such a Karen at times, can't
Yeah.
she?
And somebody just asked me about my shirt, what my shirt says. They can
Yes.
see it on there, but it says, "In a world full of Karens, be a Beth." And
That's
Lee
right.
got me this
That's
shirt.
right.
Um,
Got it for her
so yeah,
birthday.
for my
Yes.
birthday. So yeah,
Well,
that's
we were
why.
all in a store together, and I saw her look.
I love
She,
this shirt. I was like,
she,
I
I
was
love
like,
this shirt. So when she walked away, my sister and I snatched it and
yeah.
gave it to her for her birthday.
And you got me the other one, but I can't say it on the air.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
love that one too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so you.
Yeah, it's an awesome shirt, but yeah, we won't say what that
I've
one
got a
is.
couple Beth shirts too because I love
I love Beth.
Yellowstone. Y'all
She's
got
my
me hooked
hero.
on that.
Tell me that show was
And
amazing.
it's going to be November before
I
it comes
know.
back
I
on.
know.
I think we should have a Yellowstone party.
We should have a Yellowstone watch
Well,
party for
yeah,
that
I'm
first
gonna come in
episode.
wearing
Yeah.
my little boots
Yeah.
and my hat.
Well, I don't know. Tomorrow night, no, what's today? Friday. Sunday night, the Game of Thrones prequel, House of the Dragon, starts.
Uh-oh.
Everybody that I know
She
is
is a
all about
gamer.
it. Oh, I love
Yes,
Game of
yes.
Thrones.
Well, what's up
So,
with I was talking to somebody yesterday and I brought up the fact about how much you and my brother and sister-in-law love Walking Dead.
yes, October 2nd, babies, when the final episodes.
I was
Yeah.
with my mom when she was in a rehab center, after having pneumonia. And my brother and sister-in-law had said, "Oh, Walking Dead's on tonight. You need to watch it." So I said, "Okay, Mom." And so I said, "We're going to watch it tonight."
Mhm.
See what all the look. We lasted 5 minutes, and I was like, "These people eating people's faces and
Yeah.
stuff." I was like,
Walking Dead
"No,
is the greatest
can't
show
do it."
ever. Yeah.
Yes.
So, and spinoffs next year, and the fact that Rick and Michonne are coming back
Right.
for a whole new season of them.
Yeah, I was
I'm
reading
all
up
about
on
it.
some of the
Yes.
stuff for the
Yeah.
next season. I
Yeah.
keep saying maybe I'll try it again.
You have to start at the beginning, though.
Yes,
If you
right.
don't, and you have to watch from. I have watched every single episode from the very first night it ever started
Right.
as they came on. But you have to start at the beginning. You can't start in the middle.
Right.
You have to start at the beginning and work your
Right.
way, because every
Yeah.
episode builds on the characters.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
you Virgin River lovers, that's back on Netflix again with the new
I
season.
haven't watched that.
I
Yeah.
got through about the first 3 episodes, and I just kind of lost interest a little bit
Mhm.
of this season,
Mhm.
and I'll just save it for a rainy day
Mhm.
and go back and try to catch it up again. But I'm not real big into sequels and stuff like that. But I'm finding now that I'm enjoying them more rather than having the news on all the time.
I don't
So
watch the news. Y'all know
I
that.
very
I get
seldom
it.
watch it.
I get my news in here when I pull it up as
Yes.
we're, when we're about to talk
Well, I
about
get
things.
news alerts on my phone,
Yeah.
so if it's anything really, really
Mhm.
big, then I'll tune in. But other to sit there, I used to
Mm.
sit there and watch the news like C-SPAN, CNN,
Mm-hmm.
Fox News. Of course, I pulled away from CNN fast, but I used to watch all those channels and just sit there and watch. But I don't do it anymore. I'm tired of all
It'll
the
stress you.
division
I'm telling you, it'll stress
and
you
all
out
the
to watch the
hatred.
news. There's too much hate. There's too much, a whole lot of things. So it's just, and a lot of times the news is, back in the day when I was a kid, the news was fact based.
That's right.
Just the facts, man,
Unbiased.
basically.
That's right.
But now it's more opinionated. It's depending on what channel you're watching.
Right. You got the far
You've
right
got,
channels
the far left,
and the far left
the ones
channels.
kind of in between. But a lot of times it's like they're trying to sway you one way or the other.
Right.
So it's just, I think we've lost sight of just the facts.
Right.
And we've had a little. We were going to talk about this yesterday, but we, got busy with other things. Jacksonville's hired, or is in the process. Well, going to be. Well, he's hired, but he hasn't started yet.
Yeah.
A new city manager.
September 12th. The contract's been signed.
And so Josh Ray will be the new city manager. And he's a 20-year veteran of public service, and he is a credential manager of the National Association of Professional City and County Managers. And he was voted unanimously by the Jacksonville City Council.
Yes, he was.
But he comes with a little bit of controversy. I guess that would be the right word I would use.
Yeah, probably.
And some people are a little upset, concerned, not happy with his selection. And I mean, like I said, we've been contacted,
right.
About
started getting
this.
phone calls.
So I did
like,
too,
what?
and got messages on
Right.
on our page, and people contacting. I didn't know I knew we needed a manager because
Right.
of the resignation, but I don't know. I guess I hadn't
Right.
followed. They hadn't said much about it.
Yeah, Richard Woodruff,
yeah.
he retired. He was long-standing. Before him was Jerry Bittner. He was very long-standing as city manager. We've been blessed with good city managers that stayed. And from what I've learned, that a city manager is common for them to move around a lot. But we had 2 home-based city managers that were with us for quite a long time, and both did an excellent job for the city of Jacksonville. So
I would think, and this is just me, and like I said, I don't know much about this field. So,
right.
But in my personal opinion, I would prefer a city manager with some longevity in terms of, because when you have people coming and going a lot, there's a lot of starting over, and
Right.
things sometimes fall through the cracks. So I think my opinion is, I think we've been very blessed to have long-term city managers. I would think they would be more effective, but I might be wrong. I mean, some people may say, that's why they just go from manager to manager. But I just think, in my opinion, you would get more done if you had somebody
Right.
stay. But
Well,
I might be wrong about that.
I'm like you. I started getting phone calls and texts, and I was
Yes.
like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
I did
So
not know. So
I
we
delved
did some
into
digging.
it,
Yeah,
and we did our
we
homework.
did. We
And
learned some stuff.
I know there was a
Mhm.
lot of social media buzz because he had allegedly been fired from a couple jobs, positions,
Mhm.
and some other little issues. And so I said, I'm going to get it straight from the source. So I called a city council member,
Mhm.
talked to him, and I also called and talked to the mayor, which we were going to have call in yesterday, but we ran over. And so I apologize, Mr. Mayor, there, that we didn't get back to you. But I spoke to them at length, and This is what they explained to me. First of all, they hired a research group, Mercer Group,
Mm-hmm.
to vet, to research, put the applications out there, receive them. They vetted each applicant. They
Mm-hmm.
researched, and I think they had close to 30 applicants. So that's
Yes,
a lot of
that's what I
people.
was told about
That's
30
a lot of people.
applicants.
And
Yeah.
there was a couple
Yeah.
local people they had put in for it too.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, they did the research, they met, they kept vetting people, they talked to them. And each time, Mr. Ray, was it Josh?
Yeah,
Yes.
Josh Ray.
He came up in the top 10
Mm-hmm.
of all their applicants. And then they dwindled it down, did more research, more vetting. And then he was up in their top 7 and eventually up into their top 3. And they said they questioned him about everything, but they really felt confident that this man was the best one for the job. And like I said, they did a lot of research and vetting, and they spoke to him. He spoke to them. He explained a lot, whatever. So I'm going to go on record saying that I'm going to put my faith into the city council. And after speaking to the mayor and the city council, that they picked, they thought be the best men for the job. So I'm gonna put my faith into that, and because that's what we elected them for, to represent us. But I also asked him about, well, has a contract been signed? Yes, a contract been signed. It's an open end contract, which is a good thing, because if say Mr. Ray chose after a year, a month, 6 months, 5 years to leave his position, or maybe the city council, the city and him did not have a good fit and they asked him to leave, you're only talking about a 1 month severance package. So
Which is good versus a
yes,
year or 2 years, like some
yes,
places
because
do.
we had a little bit of a controversy come up not long ago about a position here in Onslow County where their superintendent's contract was not due up for another 2 years, but they went ahead and signed a brand new one, to extend it, which I'm sure they know what they're doing. And of course, the superintendent does a great job as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, the open end contract, that made me feel good. So
Mm-hmm.
I just
Well,
felt like that they said they thoroughly vetted this man, and he ended up being the number 1 pick, and it was always up in the top of all their picks. So I'm going to put my faith into
well,
them.
I hope they did.
Yes.
A lot of times these companies are subjective or whatever, and whatever that they did. People sent me some information on him.
Hmm.
So he was the town manager of Whiteville, North Carolina, and they fired him after I think he'd been there a year or 14 months. Um, they did not they didn't like his work on the town's sewer and drainage issues, and also they did not like that they had worked that he what they felt he wasn't acting fast enough on several town projects, according
Hmm.
to what I was sent. Um, and that he actually came out when this right after this happened. And when did this happen? So this would have been in, I don't know when, um, 2009. Um, Apparently, at that time, he expressed a desire to be a governor of North Carolina.
Well,
So I don't know.
aspirations.
I would say, but that's 13 years ago. So he clearly hasn't gotten into politics.
Right.
So maybe he changed his mind, which good on him for that. But he started, it was Whiteville. Then he was also fired from in Tennessee. Um, so that, something about this one was a little odd to me, that he had been hired. No, in Shelbyville, he was fired from his job as city manager in Shelbyville, Tennessee. I don't even know where that is. Never heard of
Right.
it. It sounds small to me, but maybe it's not. I don't know. They did not like his management style. And that's what the city council said. That's the only reason they gave, was they wanted to change. They needed to change. They didn't like his management style.
Right.
So from there, he accepted a job as a city manager in Signal Mountain, Tennessee. He signed a contract with them on this year, on April 29th. But then on May 5th, so 6 days after he signed a contract with them, apparently he emailed the Manchester, Tennessee mayor about becoming city manager there. Somehow and he was supposed to report for work on June 1st at Signal Mountain. So when they found out that 5 days after you sign a contract with us, you're emailing this place, who, by the way, wasn't hiring a city manager. So there's that. The Signal Mountain city council voted to terminate him. I mean, I get it. I
Right.
would be, because I'd be like, wait a minute, you just accepted a job with us, and now you're already contacting people who aren't even hiring for a job.
Well, and
Yeah.
right. In his words, he said, I negotiated a contract with the mayor of Signal Mountain. And then unfortunately, my godmother got sick, ended up passing away in June.
Mhm.
So all these things happened at the same time.
Yeah.
And he added that he told the mayor he didn't think he could commit longer than 3 years, and further explained his position. In Ray's words, the mayor then said they could terminate Ray's contract if he wasn't 100% committed. So, I can see both sides of that exactly. But I just maybe one day we can get him to come on.
I would
the
love
radio.
to, because
Yeah.
the other thing that got sent to me, he had some legal troubles back in 2012
Mhm.
that ended up with him getting some kind of a well, it was domestic violence issues, and he
Right.
ended up getting charged. But then his I guess wife didn't want to testify, so he
Right.
ended up taking some kind of like one of those things where, like, if you complete this class, we will,
Right. Right.
we will dismiss or wipe off your record or whatever it is. So people dig up stuff. I mean, that's
Oh,
one thing
yeah,
I'll say.
that's the first thing
People
they
like
did.
they totally dig up, and that got sent to
Absolutely.
me. He was charged with false imprisonment or something, holding his wife against her will. They had some kind of domestic issue.
Right.
But
Well, she's come back
Yeah.
and denied all that.
Yeah.
And now I did ask about that too.
Mhm.
And I was told to, without them going into a lot of personal
Mhm.
stuff, which is privileged between him and them. But it was an argument.
Mhm.
And it had escalated, loud voices and stuff. And of
Mhm.
course, the law was called in. I don't know who called the law. There's her, him, or a neighbor.
Someone sent me the news article about it.
Right.
It took place in New Mexico, so I
Right.
guess he was working there at the
Yes.
time. And they sent me 3. I mean, people, like I said, people dig.
Right.
They do.
Oh, no, they're
And
relentless.
So they sent me that. I'm like, okay. I mean, it was 2012, so 10
Right.
years ago.
Right.
And personally, I mean, it got dealt with. I would assume in 10 years there have been no more issues, because
Right.
the diggers seem to not be able to find anything else. So that's a little less on my horizon. Although, when you're working in public, service like that, you need to be above board all the time. But I mean, things happen. People take things out of context. They get upset.
That's
I mean,
right.
it does happen. I would be more concerned, if it were me, of the whole, I hired you and 5 days later you're calling somebody else for another job. That I have more of an issue with that
Right.
personally, but
Right.
that's Kelly having that issue. I think now all we can do is wait to see. But my question becomes, this whole 3-year thing, how recent was that said? Because is he going to in 3 years leave us, and then we got to start a search all over, or was that at that time? That's the only
We'll have
thing.
to
I
wait
mean,
and see.
I would rather have a city manager that's going to have a little bit of longevity,
Right.
so I know things will get done, and we're not, we start a project and then, someone leaves, and then you have to start all over again.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes that's when things get,
Right.
they get halted or swept under the rug, or, so that's my only issue. I mean, I don't know this guy. I don't have, and I am a city resident. So
Right.
yeah,
I
I'm
am too.
kind of following it, but kind of not. I'm going to trust that the city council knows what they're
Yes.
doing. But I do oftentimes, though, these vetting companies. Sometimes I have dealt with agencies in the past that
Right.
use those, and I will honestly say I don't always trust their logic with things they do. But we're going to have to trust this vetting company, who was,
Right.
I'm sure, paid a very pretty penny of my tax money, that did the right
Right.
thing.
Well, I will say that in my discussion with one of the city council members, who he laid it all out. I mean, he
Mhm.
spent a lot of time explaining things to
Mhm.
me, and then I talked to the mayor also, and they feel extremely confident this is the right choice. So, like I said, I'm
We're
putting
going to
my
have to
faith
see.
into them.
Yep.
And
So
and I'm sure all this will die down.
yeah,
And
people just
Mr. Ray will get his
people don't
chance
like
to go in there
change.
and prove
We're gonna
himself.
we're gonna hold Mr. Ray accountable, as we would anybody.
That's right.
So I mean, we're
Well,
gonna treat him
if
the
you
same
think
way with
about
anybody.
this, It's just like what some of our county commissioners go through. They'll make a decision, and right away somebody's jumping on
They
it
do.
and
Yeah.
accusing them of, like, a
Of
backdoor
being
deal
rhinos or
with
backdoor
a
deals or yeah.
with a
Yeah.
real estate company and stuff.
Mhm.
So I
It's the
think
same
that
thing.
yeah, we're just gonna wait and see. And
We
I wish
have
him all
to.
the luck.
I
I wish
do.
him
I
luck, and
mean,
welcome to
yeah. Welcome
Jacksonville.
to Jacksonville.
We're not all crazy.
No, I mean, we just know that
Right.
people do, and believe me, people do
Yeah,
watch. So,
people come up with
Mr.
questions.
Ray, just so you know, people gonna be watching you because Lord have mercy, they flooded my phone, my
I
thing, and I was
know.
like, what is that? I didn't
I,
know nothing
yeah, I
about
was
it.
taking a nap,
Yeah, yeah.
and I got a phone call. But I understand he's a very Christian man,
Okay.
very Christian family.
Good.
He has a high school student and I think a fourth grader,
Okay.
and they're very excited about settling in this area. So
Yeah.
welcome to
Yeah.
Jacksonville.
Well, so we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. So we cleared that. So we,
Yeah.
I know people were wanting us to talk about it.
Right.
All we can do now is wait and see what happens.
That's
That's
right.
all we can do.
And
So
we talked
he's
right over our
hired.
break.
Yep. So
we
let's
gotta
go
to
to our break.
break.
Yeah, we got to get our break in. Live and local, real talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. We'll be right back. All right, and we are back. So real quick, because I know we're going to have to go to our other break here in a couple of
Yes.
minutes, but because we got chatty and got sidetracked. Do you remember? And I do. I was a kid, but I remember this. Do you remember in California in 1976, those kids on that school bus got kidnapped and the bus was buried alive? Do you remember that? They were buried
Yes.
inside that bus.
Yes. I think
They even
made
made a movie about it, like a TV movie. And
right.
well, one of the kidnappers was granted parole this week.
What?
Yes, he is now 70. His name is Frederick Woods, and in March he was approved for it after being denied 17 times. And most of the survivors did not want him released, but two of them did. They they one of the survivors, Larry Park, said, "I believe you've served enough time for the crime you committed." And Rebecca Reynolds Daly, who was another survivor, she was for it too. The other ones weren't. But Mr. Park said, "I'm concerned about the addiction you may have about money," and wanted him to go get treatment. Um, He
Okay.
so as of yesterday, he was still incarcerated in San Luis Obispo because of safety and security concerns. They did not want to give the actual date,
Right.
but he's supposed to be out. So they say he's going to be out today. But he was 24 when he and two others kidnapped the 26 kids and their bus driver in Northern California, and it was him and brothers Richard and James Schoenfield, and it was July 15, 1976, near Chowchilla. It's about 125 miles southeast of San Francisco.
Hmm.
They were placed into a moving truck and buried alive. And what happened was they were holding these kids for ransom, demanding $5 million. And the kids and the bus driver, and the kids were ages 5 to 14, and the bus driver were able to um, dig their way out after 16 hours. I've seen the movie and it made me cry. If you've never watched this movie, you could
Right.
probably, I know it's still out there
Right.
because was on not too long ago. It is even though it was filmed not too long after, let's say maybe late 70s, early 80s, it is a powerful movie. I mean, I cannot imagine, and I've read the accounting of this as well. I cannot imagine these kids, they were panicked at first hearing that dirt. I mean, I'm claustrophobic anyway. I just cannot imagine. But the bus driver, who really was their
Right.
hero, kept these kids calm, and they finally got out of there. And the current governor of California, Newsom, his father was a judge, and he's the one. They were originally given life sentences,
Right.
but in 1980 he gave them, he reduced it to he gave them some kind of weird reduction where they could get parole. Now, Mr. Richard was released in 2012, which I did not know that until just now.
Hmm.
And then Mr. James was released, or Richard, I'm sorry, Richard was released in 2012. James was paroled in 2015. And then Mr. Woods this week.
Wow.
I
Yeah. We
mean,
were discussing another sicko story this
mhm,
morning that just occurred. And
mhm.
I guess when we come back from
We'll
break,
talk
we
about
can
when we
talk
come
about
back. I mean,
that.
I know that people are very upset about this man. All three of them, but he was the last one to be released. They're upset, but I think they were talking about he was kind of like the ringleader. But
Oh.
how what kind of sicko do you have to be to bury a bus full of kids? I mean,
Sick.
that's
Sick.
it. So the counselor in me is like, I hope he's gotten some kind. I hope all three of them have gotten some kind of counseling, and while they were
I hope so too.
incarcerated, to
Right.
help them work through whatever issues they had to make them do this to begin with. And like that one guy said, because it was for money that they have dealt with that. I hope so. But I kind of feel sorry for a lot of those kid victims, because now
Right.
they are, even though they're a lot older, they're still being re-victimized.
Sure.
It's very sad.
Sure.
But
Oh,
all right, let's take
yes.
another break. Live and local, real talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. And if you have something you want to talk about, give us a call, 910-333-0139. We'll be right back. And we are back.
Yes, we are.
And you have a story you want to
I
bring
have a
up.
story to bring in. You just found out some more information
Yes,
on it. I
I'm
don't know
just,
if you want to
I
talk
like
about
got the
this.
chills. This guy's a creepo.
Yeah, a Pennsylvania man was charged with abuse of a corpse, receiving stolen property and other charges after police say he allegedly tried to buy stolen human remains from an Arkansas woman for possible resale on Facebook. A spokeswoman for the University of Arkansas for Medical Sciences in Little Rock confirmed that the remains were supposed to be donated to the UAM's facility. Spokeswoman Leslie Teller said that instead they were stolen from Arkansas Central Mortuary Services in Little Rock by a female mortuary employee and sold, adding that there was an open investigation.
Well, that's got that right there has to be illegal. So there's that.
Why do you want
Yeah.
dead body parts? Why?
Well, this guy, look, if y'all want to see I wish I had some way to put this up. This guy is creepy looking. He even has spikes
On his head.
fixed on his head. He's got one whole side of his face. It looks like a child tattooed, like literally. I'm not even joking
Right.
about this. But his eye has like some like demon looking eye thing. It's just
Now, metal spikes that
these are
he's
metal
got into his
spikes
scalp.
that are in sticking. I mean, it looks like devil horns. There's a lot of them. But anyway, so apparently when they arrested him, well, he has a Facebook page under his name, and his name is Jeremy Lee Pauley of Enola, Pennsylvania. Um, he was released on $50,000 bond, believe it or not, and so he posted under his regular Facebook page. He had pictures of bags and stacks of femurs. One caption, picked up more medical bones to sort through. Apparently, he has a Facebook page that he markets body parts called the Grand Wonder Camera. Vendors of the odd and unusual, museum exhibits, guest lectures, live entertainment, and so much more. Strange, curious, and unique in every way possible. Yikes. Then it gets better. So when the police started checking everything, a lot of the remains he had, because he describes him as a collector of what he called oddities, to include
Yes.
human body parts. Police found human remains. A lot of them were illegal, but they did find 3 5-gallon buckets containing assorted body parts, including of children. And so the federal investigators had to go through there
Oh,
and
no.
determine what
Mm.
was legally bought and what wasn't. And that woman, he paid that woman $4,000 through Facebook Messenger.
How do people get so crazy and demented?
According to Facebook, now look, they are shutting us down for talking about Hen House Chronicles and talking about political stuff. But then Facebook apparently has a community standards which prohibit selling body parts. Did they shut this guy's page down? I want to
No.
know because they were always blocking ours. But this is
Yes.
sick. So this
Yes.
guy, this is just sick.
If you want to check out
Yeah.
his page, it's
Go.
40-year-old Jeremy Lee
You
Pauley
can't miss the spikes
of
and the
Pennsylvania.
whole face
Oh
tattoo.
yeah.
It's
When you
yeah,
see his picture, it's
you'll
enough to
know.
creep you out.
It's very creepy. All right, let's take our 60-second Fox News break. We'll come back with some more information. We've got a little information about Maysville.
Yes,
We've got
we
a boil
do.
water advisory, so we'll talk about that when we come back. We're live in Local Real Talk. It's our top of the hour Fox News break. We'll be right back in 60 seconds. So we're definitely back for our last hour, and the town of Maysville reported yesterday that they want all their residents to boil their water until
Okay.
they tell you not to. Um, Apparently, the town officials say a contractor hit the water line, and because there's a potential for bacteria to get into water system when this happens, the customers are being asked to boil the water for 1 minute. This includes water for drinking, making ice, brushing teeth, washing dishes, and for food preparation, or used bottled water. And they say the boil water advisory remains in effect until further notice, actually.
Wow.
So if you live in Maysville,
Gotta
or
definitely boil
you know,
your
in that
water.
area, definitely boil your water until a notice comes out that you don't have to do that anymore.
Which I'm sure they'll
Yeah.
get that taken care of right
Oh, I'm
away.
sure, but
So,
that's a scary
thanks.
thing.
Yeah, it is a
You know,
scary thing.
bacteria like that can make you really, really sick.
It certainly can. Hey, does your grandson like dinosaurs?
Yes, he does.
I saw Greenville's
Mhm.
having a big exhibit this
Oh, yeah?
weekend, and families will get to experience some prehistoric fun this weekend in Greenville. Organizers say that the Dinosaur Adventure is an exhibit with big dinosaurs and lots of family fun. It's at the Greenville Convention Center. Just look at the
Yeah.
dinosaurs right here.
He
Isn't
went
that
to one of those in
cool?
Raleigh, and it was amazing. So I may have to
I
let
just ran
Megan, I know you're
across
listening.
that. Yeah.
So,
Tickets start at
yeah.
$25 each
Yeah.
for visitors 13 and up, and 35 for kids 2 to 12. Why is it more for kids? I guess they must give them stuff to do or something. I don't
Maybe
know.
they get like a thing. But they did one in Raleigh, and it was, I mean, these things were life size. It was, cool. They growl and do
Yeah, I
whatever
just happened to
dinosaurs
run
do.
across that. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, what is that? That
Yeah.
looks like fun.
If you saw on the news that an inmate escaped from the Wayne County Jail, he's been caught, just so you know. So, crisis averted. This, what an idiot. He ought to make dumb quick news, but I'm
Yes.
going to go ahead and report on this because it's right here. So, he took a food service van from the jail and left. And so
Maybe he was hungry.
he must have been, but he was caught in Wake County. He didn't get
Right.
too far. And he will be returned to Wayne County today, and he will be charged additionally. And for those that asked, why was he in jail in Wayne County? Obtaining property by false pretenses, which probably would have not netted him very much time.
Right.
But now you got jailbreak added to that. So, dude, you are truly a moron, because now you're going to have more time than you would have had you just served your little jail time for the obtaining property by false pretenses.
Well, I'm sure
What
somebody's
an
in hot
idiot.
water. How did he gain access to it?
That's
So
true. I mean, yeah,
imagine
because
there's,
you're in jail. That's
that's
true.
right.
You're not. Yes, good question.
Yes.
Very good question.
Somebody's
So
in
somebody at
trouble.
Wayne County Jail might be out of a job because who was not watching
Hey,
him?
good to
Yeah.
know the Pender County forest fire is now 77%
Woohoo!
contained. And then with the
Yeah.
rain we have coming today,
Yeah,
maybe that's some great news. Very good. It
yeah,
hasn't grown in the past couple days. So
that's good.
yeah, it's good to know.
Yay!
I'm happy
Yeah.
about that.
Yay!
Yep.
Greenville police have issued a there's a Greenville man is now wanted on kidnapping and child
Yes.
sex crimes. So they're looking for him. Clinton Jackson III. He was reported missing on Monday, but he's wanted for first-degree burglary, first-degree kidnapping, indecent liberties with a child, and sexual battery. He
Right.
is 5'7" and weighs 230 pounds, and he was last seen around 33 East and Oxford Road wearing a black T-shirt and black pants. And if you know where he is or have seen him, the Greenville police want you to
Yes.
call and say, "This is where this guy is."
Even if
Yeah.
you see him in Jacksonville,
Yeah.
call
Call.
911.
Yeah. And say, we
Right.
see this guy. So, yeah,
I see shark attacks have increased lately.
they have. Sharks are just hungry.
Yes.
That's all it is. It's
Uh,
okay.
Here's one. A woman survives a Myrtle Beach shark attack, receives hundreds of stitches.
Y'all wonder if I tell you why I don't go in the water now. I'm telling you.
Yeah, well, vacationing. So she was in waist deep water on 75th Avenue North. I know you know where that's at.
I know exactly where that is.
When the
Yeah.
shark swam up and bit her on the arm, and her grandson was just a couple feet away. Lord have mercy. Nah,
I don't know.
Well, one story that we never got to this week was the story about the 88-year-old woman
Hmm.
who was killed by an alligator in South Carolina.
That's right.
An 88-year-old woman was killed in an apparent alligator attack in South Carolina on Monday. It appears the victim, Nancy Becker, was gardening
Hmm.
near a pond in Sun City, Hilton Head, an
Mhm.
adult-only community,
And she fell
and
in.
slipped into
Yeah.
the lake. Responders found the gator guarding her body.
Mhm.
The gator, a 9-foot, 8-inch male, has been euthanized.
Yeah, they said the gator had been watching her. And you know
Right.
why? Okay, once again, if you live in North and South Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
why would you garden near any kind of body of water? And once
Well,
again, those residents had to have known they were in there because a lot of them won't even name them. They'll be
right.
like, that's
Yeah. There's
Chuck
her,
over
though.
there, or yeah,
There's Chuck.
Kelly the gator's over there. I mean,
Well, here's
mhm.
safety tips. Alligators are most active at night, so only swim in designated swimming areas during daylight hours.
Okay, let me stop you right
I
there.
knew that was coming.
First of all, Kelly is not going to swim in bodies of water where there
Right.
might even be a remote chance of a gator,
Right.
especially around here in Onslow County.
Right.
Kelly's not swimming in nothing but a pool.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. Okay, next. What's another tip?
Okay, another tip is never feed an alligator. Ding, ding, ding.
Well, that's
Yeah,
a given,
that's
but
not
the fact
something
that
I
you've
would
got to
normally do.
say that
Right.
says a lot. Okay.
And keep your pets on a leash and away from
Yeah,
the
'cause
water's edge.
let me tell you what, when I lived in Florida right after high school, moved down there for the summer,
Mhm.
and one of the things I had friends that fished and stuff like that. A lot of time, and a lot of them gator hunted, which is weird to me, but whatever.
Right.
I don't have to try to fight a gator to get in the boat or whatever you do. But anyway, some of them would put dogs in their boats
Mhm.
because gators are attracted to dogs, or they will walk them alongside the shore. But alligator can. I learned a lot that summer in Florida, and one of the things I did learn, alligator can run up to 35 miles an hour.
Yes, we
So
discussed that one
yeah,
time. Yes, it was
and so
amazing.
but people will use dogs to bait the gators. They weren't throwing them overboard, nothing like that. Well,
Right.
most people wouldn't. I will fight somebody if they ever did that. But they would put them in the boats to make the gators come close to the boats, and they would shoot them or
Now,
whatever they did.
a fact that I learned the other day is like if you're trying to run away from an alligator, zigzag. Zigzag you're running because gators can't zigzag. They run in a straight line. Well, look, you don't have to worry about me anyway.
I'm
'Cause if I'm
telling you,
anywhere
not going to happen. Yes,
where
yes, yeah.
there's an alligator, I'm out of there.
I am not trying to do anything, and that's why when I've gone on boats here on the New River with
Right.
friends and stuff like that, oh, there's a gator. I stay in the middle of the boat at that point. I don't want, and
Yeah,
I
it's not
but
like
I had a
Sharknado. They're not
local.
going to jump up, but
Well,
still,
you
I
never
don't
know.
blame
These
you.
things are smart.
Yes.
So, and my brother used to live in Surf City on the marsh, and he used to stand on his back deck, and you could see. He said, "Oh, see that flattened down grass over here? Yeah, that's where the gators lie." I'm like, what? He said, "I thought he was joking." No, he was dead serious because you'd see them doing their little thing back there. I'm like, oh
Now,
no.
this is the
Yeah.
5th death
Mhm.
of someone by an alligator since 2000 in South Carolina. It's enough for one is enough for me.
Mhm.
But they say alligators are very active during the spring and summer months because when temperatures rise, their metabolism increases and they get hungry and look for food. So evidently she was just
Yeah.
right there at that. Well, she slipped into
Well,
the
it was
water.
watching her. It was probably close
Yes,
by.
it was
Once
watching her.
again,
She probably never even saw it.
I would not. Once again, Kelly
How
would not be
horrible.
gardening near a lake, even on a golf course, because even a lot of our
Mhm.
local golf courses have little gators on them.
Yes, they do.
No, I'm not
Yes,
going
they
to go
do.
retrieve a ball out of the water. If I chucked my ball, my clubs, what it was, I don't play golf, but if I did, and too bad, so sad, I'll just go buy more.
Right.
None of that.
I know Tide Marine has a
Mhm.
little gator that comes up occasionally up
Yes.
there to the boat dock, and I've looked for it when I've
Mhm.
been out there, but I've not seen it
Rayford
yet.
said he's spooky though, and
Yes.
Rayford, he's taken a bunch of pictures of him, but he's like, we have enough respect that we're not going to get near that thing
That's right.
because they
That's
will
right.
bite you. No, we don't
Yeah.
do that.
I
We
can remember
just
that
don't.
great big one that was over in the Northwoods area over there near Onslow Drive.
By River Street.
Yes,
Yeah.
River. Yeah,
Mhm.
the gator that come out there. And that
That's
was
where that
out.
big Jagunda one was killed.
Yes.
Yeah, the one that's over in the thing.
Just like
Kill
I'm
that
gonna go
dog.
see that one soon too.
Yeah, I didn't know that place existed. I'm definitely
I'll
going to
put that one on my
Yeah,
list.
it's on my list. of
My goal
places to
list
go.
is the museum
Yeah,
tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, and then you're right. A little boy earlier this week lost part of his leg in Florida on
Yes.
vacation down in the
Yes.
Keys. I started to say the snakes. The sharks have been they've been feasting lately. I mean, it is, but look, hello, you cannot blame the sharks because it is their habitat.
That's right.
So
It's their ocean.
hmm
Yep, we have to treat them with
we
respect.
do, and I don't agree with people that shark hunt or they take their fins for shark fin soup, and nope, I just don't agree with any of that.
I don't mind a tooth or now
No.
every now and then one that washes up on shore, but other
I'll
than
do that, but no, I
nah.
mean, but I don't get mad at the shark because
Right.
you're in his territory.
That's right.
They're
It's
just
his
being
environment.
sharks. Yeah. And y'all know I've talked to this many times. I witnessed a shark attack as a kid, which left
Wow.
me super traumatized, which is why
Right.
I don't like the ocean. But I saw that girl lose her leg, and I was farther out than she was. She was in a little over knee deep water. It's just
Yes.
it's a traumatic thing when you see it.
Yes.
I was 12 years old. I'll never forget this. And I still remember the girl's name. She was from Greensboro. We were down at Ocean Isle Beach. Never will forget it.
Right.
It was traumatic. So that's why Kelly does not like the ocean. Yes, I will go in it periodically. I am panicked the whole time I'm in it. If a seaweed touches me, you hear me scream,
Yeah.
act a fool. But I'll spend a little bit. I'll do my little wave
Oh
surfy
my
things, and I'm done.
gosh.
Yep. But my daughter's boyfriend surfs here, both at Emerald Isle and down at Topsail. And when he's recently talked about some of the things he's seen in the water, Kelly has now decided she's not going back in the water because he has seen sharks out there even recently. Like,
It
no.
never bothered me. I can remember, younger
Mhm.
and being out in the water with my brother, my sister-in-law, and we've got boards and we're just
Mhm.
hanging on to
Oh
them,
yeah,
and we will just lay in the
I
water
would.
and for hours and
Yeah.
hours all day long. Come in long enough to go,
Till your
take care
hands
of
get all
business.
pruny and
Yes,
stuff,
and
and
your feet and your hands.
yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you, the movie Jaws ruined me.
Yeah.
It ruined me. I go out in the water and like you, something touches my leg, I'm
I will
out.
act a fool when something touches my leg like that.
Kelby,
Seaweed.
if you see her put her hand up on top of her head, she
I
thinks she's
will
seen a
walk
shark.
on water to get out of that water. I mean, and I'm a big scaredy with that. And I'm only scared really of snakes, and obviously being bitten by a shark. But that's because I witnessed a shark attack, and it was absolutely horrific and scary and traumatic. But B, I mean, I have a healthy respect for Mother Nature, stuff like that. But no,
Yes.
and once again, I will take my little chair and sit on the edge where the water just comes up and get my feet in there. I'm cool with that. But if you want me to swim, I would prefer to do it in the pool.
Right.
Just would. So
Yeah, I just get me a kiddie pool and put about
Mhm.
10 gallons of water and go sit
Mhm.
in it. Oh my God, I'm good. I'm good.
Yep, and my youngest daughter's house hunting currently, and we were looking at a house the other day and driving through a neighborhood, and these people it was very cute. I don't know what they're like, white ducks. What are they? We got the orange beaks. Are those ducks or geese? I don't think they're geese. I don't know. I call them white ducks.
I'll
You know,
call them
got the little
ducks, and I
long
remember
necks.
my
You know
granddaughter
what they?
schooled
Yeah,
me and
because
gave me an education on
I don't
everything,
know.
but they're ducks to me.
They're white ducks. I
Right.
don't know that they're white ducks. They look like white geese, but anyway, they got
Right.
orange beak. When you see a picture of a duck, that's your typical thing. But anyway,
Duck. A duck
this
is a
house
duck.
had like 8 of them, and they had 2 kiddie pools in their backyard dug in the
Aw.
ground for them to get in. I'm
That's
like, that's
awesome.
responsible. I was like,
Yes.
yes, these people are awesome.
Yes.
I was like, and too bad the house next to them wasn't for sale, because that obviously would be great neighbors.
Oh,
And my daughter's
yeah,
an animal
she
lover,
would
so she
love
was
that.
all about it.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
because we're talking about Michaela. So yeah, she would be all about it. But yeah, I thought that was cool and very responsible. So if
Right.
you're the people that has that in your house, I applaud you, because I think
Right.
it's awesome.
It is nice.
Yeah.
I get just raccoons and rabbits and possums, and of course the cat or the
Mhm.
dogs have to bring them in the
Mhm.
house because they love to gift me with those things.
Well,
Yeah.
Michaela's demon dog brought in a rabbit.
Okay.
It was dead.
No,
And
mine
put
are
it on the
alive
couch.
when
No,
they bring them in.
this one, she killed it in the yard, I guess,
Right.
her golden retriever. And she was, quote, retrieving it and brought it and put it on the couch. Michaela wigged out. It was a whole situation. It was bad. So poor little bunny rabbit somehow made it over our giant privacy fence into the yard, but he
Yeah.
exists no more. It's very sad.
But since I've been working on
Yeah.
my privacy fence, I still kept my regular fence up behind it,
Yeah.
and for double protection, but my chain link. So
Yeah.
taking down different pieces
Mhm.
and paneling and rebuilding it. Of course, now I'm getting all the critters back in the yard that jump over or whatever. And I don't know if there's something in the yard. The cat is definitely going to find it. He's a tracker.
Telling you.
He
Yep.
is a
Yep.
beast. But I
So,
just saw U.S. Coast
yeah.
Guard Seaman Colton Hallworth was awarded the August 2022 Service Member of the Month by the Jacksonville-Onslow Chamber of Commerce. The
Yay.
Jacksonville-Onslow Chamber of Commerce Military Affairs Committee maintains and continually improves their relationships with the Marine Corps by valuing the warfighters of the Marine Corps Base, Camp Lejeune, and the Marine Corps Air Station, New River. I think it's good. Congratulations there, Mr.
Yeah.
Hallworth. That's wonderful.
Good for them. That's awesome. And
Yes.
good
Yeah.
job. Good job.
And Rayford would be proud. U.S. Coast Guard.
Yep.
Yes, he would be
Rayford would be
proud.
very proud about
Yes,
that.
he would. Well, he's been quiet this
Yeah.
morning.
Yep.
I guess him and his guest are having
Yeah.
coffee and relaxing,
Mhm.
and they were supposed to go diving yesterday.
Yeah.
We haven't heard how that
He
went.
said they went, but he said
Yes.
they, yeah, they had a good time,
Good.
but
I'm
no
glad.
pictures. Something we haven't heard a lot of lately
What's that?
is the situation in the Ukraine.
Yes.
But a very disturbing story has just hit
Oh,
as
no.
of about half hour ago.
Oh, no.
And this really does bug me. So the Ukraine has issued a warning that apparently Russia is making overtures, or maybe they've said it, or they've gotten some intel that the Russia plans to cut I'm going to tear this name up. Zavor, okay. Something with a Z that I totally can't pronounce, nuclear power plant from the power grid.
Wow.
Which, as y'all know, when a nuclear power plant goes offline, they blow up. I mean, things happen. And the Ukrainian officials warned that damage to that plant, based on them cutting it from its power source, could be 10 times worse than both the Fukushima and the Chernobyl disasters.
Whoa.
I mean, you are talking catastrophic.
Should we start building our bomb shelters?
I mean, what in the world? Why, Russia, why would you do this? Apparently, I didn't know. I do kind of remember reading something, how much about it.
Right.
This power plant has been under Russian control since March.
Right.
But the Ukrainian officials have had control of the operations. How's that happening? That's weird. But they've been shelling and fighting lately. So they've gotten the information that they're planning to shut down the power blocks and disconnect them.
Right.
They issued this statement early this morning.
Right.
They're looking for fuel suppliers for the diesel generators. Now, Russian people, come on, military. You are not this dumb. You have to know how this works. Oh, my word. No.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Oh,
no. And
no.
you
These
know,
poor
when this
people in the Ukraine.
and when
this
this
is
whole
bad.
thing started, I mean, we sat here and we all agreed
Mhm.
that this was going to go on and
Mhm.
on and on for a long time.
Well, Russia didn't think so.
Right.
Putin thought he was going to come in there,
Come in and
kick
just
butt,
seize
take
it.
names.
That's right.
And the Ukrainian people said, bet.
But
And
Zelensky
had
now,
yeah.
he's leading the charge, fighting
I am
back.
all about him. So
Yes,
go for it, dude. I mean,
yeah.
but this is scary.
Yeah, it is
Scary.
very scary.
And here's the worst thing. That particular power plant that I can't pronounce
right.
provides electricity for a third of the country, of the whole country.
And there you
And
go.
cutting it off will also cause winter's coming
Right.
there.
Right.
And winter comes early there.
Right.
So
well,
why?
maybe investing in solar farms and solar panels and windmills might not be a good idea for us. I mean, it might be a good idea for us. You're going to have to do
scary.
something. That's right. It is crazy.
Yeah. All right, caller, hold on. We're taking a quick weather break. We're live in Local Real Talk, but hold on. We will be right back. All right, and we are back,
Yes,
and
we
we're
are.
going to do some quick weather,
Yeah.
and then we will talk to our caller. So go
That's
ahead,
right.
Lee, take it away.
Okay, the fishing season around here really never ends, but different species prefer different times of the year. Right now, Spanish mackerel are still hot along the coast, even in the intercoastal waterway, which I caught quite a few a couple
Yeah, I
weeks
saw your
ago.
pictures.
They were
Yep,
little,
yeah.
but
It's
hey.
okay.
Tideline Marine has bait for most every fish in our waters. Check with the staff at the marina. Most are avid fishermen when they're not working, and they hear from fellow anglers just where to go. Lots of bragging, and they're willing to suggest what equipment to use to bring home fish for dinner. Tideline Marine and Family for all your boating and fishing needs. Don't forget, they have a huge sale going on right now to the end of August 31st. A lot of water tows on sale. Buy one now, give it to somebody for Christmas. They would love it. Tideline Marine, located on the banks of New River at 159 Oak Bridge Street in downtown Jacksonville. Today, east winds around 10 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet, dominant period 8 seconds, decreasing to 6 seconds this afternoon. Saturday, southwest winds 5 to 10 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet, dominant period 6 seconds. And Sunday, southwest winds 5 to 10 knots, seas around 2 feet.
So today, mostly cloudy, high of 84, and then rain and thunderstorms possible after 1 o'clock. And we should be getting, according to this, about a half an inch of rain.
Yep.
Tonight, same. Otherwise, when it's not raining, it'll be mostly cloudy, low of 71. Tomorrow, partly sunny, high of 87, with 40% chance of rain. So we'll see. Tomorrow night looks like and mostly cloudy, but there is some rain coming in, but we'll see. Low of 73. Then on Sunday, partly sunny, but then showers likely after 2 p.m. with a high of 87.
Just
So-
wherever you go, take a sun hat and an umbrella,
Yeah.
and you'll be fine.
Yeah. All right. Good morning, caller. Who's this? Thanks for being so patient.
Good morning, Kelly. Good morning, Lee, Joe McLaughlin.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
How are you?
Doing good. I'm
How did
recovering
you-
from a fantastic event last night.
How was it?
Yes.
It was exceptionally well attended. It was a nice turnout for Congressman Murphy as he held an event at
Right.
here in Jacksonville. But that's not why I'm calling, though. I'm calling about the campaign kickoff event the Onslow County Republican Party is hosting this Saturday, tomorrow.
Right.
If you want to meet your local candidates, Republican candidates who are on the ballot this November, commissioners, judges, no judges, commissioners, Board of Education members, come to the Courtyard Marriott on Western Boulevard between 5 and 8 p.m. We've got a great lineup of special guests. We have Chairman Watley, the chairman of the
right.
Yep, Chairman Watley, NCGOP chair, is going to be there, which is very rare. We're very privileged to have Michael Watley come down to honor our Republican slate of candidates. Plus, as an extra benefit, we have State Court of Appeals Judge Jefferson Griffin.
He's a great
The Court of Appeals is the second highest court in the state, and there's only about 12 of those folks. So tomorrow, Saturday, at the Marriott Courtyard on Western Boulevard between 5 and 8 p.m. No cost, general public admission. Come out and support and meet your candidates and learn how you can get involved in carrying the red wave through November.
Sounds like a good
Right,
event. That's
yeah.
a good location to have it too.
Thank you for reminding
Yep,
us of
yep.
that, and all the caller and all the listeners listening. It's a good opportunity to get out and meet your candidates.
Yeah, it's definitely important to know who your candidates are.
And it was
Yeah.
approved last night at the Board of Elections meeting that they will have 5 early voting sites open in November.
Good.
Well, in October for early voting, so there's no excuse for you not to get out and vote.
And the Onslow County Republican Party has a big Facebook presence. I think there's a website on Onslow County GOP. So come join us tomorrow, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m.
And there's
Courtyard Marriott.
no cost to attend. It's free.
Yeah, we'll have some light refreshments there too,
That's right.
courtesy of Golden Corral. So some nice food, great companionship. Meet your candidates.
That's
no
right.
cost to attend, and most candidates will have literature there you can pick up.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
good.
right.
Sounds
It's
like
a
a
great
good
way to
time.
meet your candidates.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I like it.
Thanks for
Yep.
letting us reminding
Thanks for
us
calling
on
in and
that.
reminding. Absolutely.
Thanks, ladies. Take care.
Thanks. Have a
Take
good
care,
day.
Joe. And since we're talking politics, which we've pretty much stayed away from all week long,
I get tired talking about
yeah,
it. But yeah.
we just, it's just sometimes you just have to take a break. But we received some news pressers in our studio this week, and one is concerning U.S. Senator Tom Tillis, who introduced the Raising Expectations with Child Opportunity Vouchers for Educational Recovery, known as the Recover Act. And this is to empower parents to solve the learning loss crisis facing today's students. Congressman Burgess Owens out of Utah is introducing companion legislation in the House of Representatives. Students in North Carolina and across the country lost valuable time in the classroom during the COVID pandemic, said Senator Tillis. This learning deficit needs to be addressed so we can get every student up to speed and prepared for the future. I am so proud to introduce this legislation with my colleagues to allocate unspent funds from the Democrats' American Rescue Plan to provide opportunities and resources for students to get ahead in their education. As of May, states and school districts had yet to spend 93% of the education funding allocated to them under the Democrats' American Rescue Plan Act. This legislation would allow states and school districts to use those unspent funds to issue child opportunity scholarships targeted for low-income families, which could be put towards educational opportunities, including tutoring services, private school tuition, books, and other curriculum materials, testing fees, and educational therapies for children with disabilities. And then out of Greenville, we got a press release from Greg Murphy's office. U.S. House Representative Dr. Greg Murphy will be hosting a press conference today at 3 p.m. at the Dare County Administration Building to announce new legislation pertaining to the Oregon Inlet in North Carolina. Representative Murphy will be joined by Dare County Board of Commissioners Chairman Bob Woodard and Commissioner Jim Tobin, Chairman of the Oregon Inlet Task Force. The press conference will stream live online. You can go to Dr. Murphy's congressional page and pick up the link there, and I'll try to add it to our Facebook. And then the congressman will be available for press inquiries after that. So good for Dare County.
Yeah. That's good.
So those are the pressers. I just wanted to get those out because, they do call us a lot and keep us informed.
Yeah.
And we like to get the word out for them whenever something new is coming up. So,
well, some other interesting news from North Carolina. USA Today often does like the 10 best, they issue the 10 best awards. And do you know that 2 North Carolina wine spots, for those that like wine, won USA Today's 10 Best Award for tours and festivals. Yeah, I mean, this is because this puts North Carolina on the map.
Okay,
because
who are
people
they?
take this seriously.
Right.
So, Asheville, they won a top 10 award for the best wine tours in the United States.
Wow.
And it says with over a dozen vineyards around Asheville, this company can customize your spring excursion for you and your guests and leave you thirsty for the next wine tour. That I guess it take you all over.
Nice.
Yeah. And Asheville was on 7th. So yeah, good. So and there's if you want to take this Asheville wine tour, it's AshevilleWineTours.com apparently. And so then the second thing, Elkin, North Carolina, which is in the one for the best wine festival.
Wow.
And it got a top 5 award. For the best wine festival in the United States, not in the state. These are both in the United States. So, Asheville won number 7 for the best wine tour in the United States.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
North
and
Carolina.
then Yadkin Valley Wine Festival in Elkin won a top 5 award for the best wine festival. And the festival is on the 3rd Saturday in May. There's a 25-acre municipal park in Elkins, which has a population of 4,000. And this festival provides small-town hospitality with plenty of room for wine sampling, food trucks, and music. And they have an afternoon grape stomp, which apparently is a big, huge list.
I think of the Lucy show every time somebody says a grape stomp.
So for more information on the Yadkin Valley Wine Festival, which is already come and gone for this year, but clearly it'll be there next year, you visit yvwf.com. Wow, but that's impressive that North Carolina, once again, is getting national recognition. And what that does is bring tourists to our state, because these people that are like really into wine and stuff, they take this stuff super seriously.
Oh, sure.
I mean, they will travel all over to these festivals and these vineyards. I mean, it's like
Yes.
serious business
I
to
know
some people.
Duplin Wineries
Yeah.
has a beautiful
Yeah.
restaurant,
Mhm.
beautiful outlay there, and a
Mhm.
lot of people go there.
Yeah.
So it's
It's a
nice.
big
North
deal.
Carolina on the board.
I'm telling you, it gives us national recognition. So
Yes.
that's good because then, one would hope that they come here and then they see other things
Right.
that are great about our state.
Right.
So, yeah, all about it.
Yep. I am too.
Yeah.
I like a nice glass of wine. I
Yeah.
don't drink it like I used to, but I love a nice glass of wine.
Not my thing, but
Yeah. That's about
yeah.
that's about as far as I go
Yeah.
anymore. But
The only kind of wine and I don't really drink it anymore, but when I did, it would have to be Moscato. It had to be sweet.
oh,
I can't do
Moscato,
sour
yes.
wine. Red wine
Yes.
makes my head hurt. Like, no. I'm just
Yes.
not a big wine
There's a
person, but
good wine out
yeah.
right now. It's a Moscato and it's called Sweet. I'll just say the last word starts with B.
Mhm.
And oh man,
Oh,
that's
yeah?
really popular right now. It's a sweet Moscato with a
Hmm.
little bit of a fizz to it. So it's really good.
So it's like fizzy sweet. Oh, wow.
Yeah, fizzy sweet.
Huh.
There you go.
Okay. Do we have anything else? I'm going to be starting Dunkirk news,
Yeah,
but I
I
think I'll
did
wait
want
till
to
after
bring
our
up the
little break.
fact that good news, not that it's a good story, but they have made arrest in the murder of the Wake County deputy sheriff that
Good.
was
Yeah.
killed in the line of duty a week ago. So they have diligently, they investigated and went after the leads, and they have made arrest in that. So I'm happy for that
Good.
they've got, because it's just this officer was shot several times responding to
Mhm.
a call in the early evening. And I understand that he entered his notes, and he entered his notes from the call into the system, but there was no radio traffic after that to indicate he was making a traffic stops. And when he didn't respond to several attempts to check in, another deputy was checked to check on him, sent to check on him, and he was found outside his vehicle along with his canine still in it.
Oh,
So sad,
yeah.
but I just it
Good.
did my
I'm glad
heart
they have an
good.
arrest.
Good.
Yes.
It did my heart good to know
Yes.
that they've made an arrest in this. So yay.
And real quick, this is like a good story, I guess. And I know I'm going to tell you right now, I've seen this before, but it's literally sitting right here as a headline from this morning. And this will spark some major debate. I have seen people fight over this.
Oh no.
If you're not the headline says, if you're not salting your watermelon, you're eating it the wrong way. And I grew up putting salt on my
I
watermelon
did
because that's how
too.
I was taught to do it.
Yes.
But some people put sugar on it, which
No.
that's weird to
ugh,
me. That's
No,
just, but
that's to me
I
that's
grew,
weird
I'm a North
also.
Carolina girl. We grew up putting salt on
Yeah,
watermelon,
and
but
on your
apparently
cantaloupe
you just
and your
do a
watermelon.
pinch. And somebody in Texas said salt on watermelon is a big deal in the South. The salt counteracts the
is.
bitter qualities watermelon has and accentuates the sweetness.
Right.
And salt activates the salivary glands, which makes the watermelon seem juicier. Makes sense.
Yeah, there you go.
But some people, this is like a debate for some. And some people will just fight you and say, absolutely not. So apparently, now people, even in the comments, oh my Lord, some people even put black ground pepper on cantaloupe and watermelon. What?
No, I don't do the
I have
pepper.
never heard of that.
I don't do the pepper. I like, if you get a really
Yikes.
sweet cantaloupe, really sweet watermelon, you really don't need anything else. But sometimes I like to
Mhm.
sprinkle a little bit of salt on it because it counteracts the sweetness, and it's really good. But that's
Somebody
like,
wrote on here, in the South, eating watermelon without salt is like drinking iced tea without sugar.
absolutely.
Yeah, watermelon with salt and sweet tea is the norm in the South. They're 100% right.
Last time I
Yeah.
went north with my sister, like we were in restaurants, she says, "No, they don't have sweet tea here." And I'm like, "What are you talking
No,
about?"
they don't. Yeah.
And so I'd have to order the unsweetened and then use a sweetener to sweeten it. And I'm like, y'all weird.
Well, I had relatives years ago come down from Massachusetts and went to McDonald's for breakfast just to pick up something and order tea. They were used to getting hot tea.
Oh,
And
surprise.
they got that iced tea and they're like, what is this? I'm like, well, what do you mean it's tea? Like, what? It's not hot. We don't have hot tea in the McDonald's here. Like, that's not how it's done. Yeah,
Oh,
I had to educate. This was a long time ago, but
yeah,
yeah.
you
No.
wouldn't think there'd be such differences.
But there is a lot of
there is a lot of
differences. It just
differences.
even throughout the country when you go to different locations. Yeah.
Yeah, you go up
Yeah.
north and have breakfast and ask for grits, and they look at you like you're crazy.
Mhm. Oh yeah, they don't eat
What's
grits.
grits?
Yeah, yeah.
Man, that's a staple in the South.
You know, growing up, I never would eat them, and I have just in the last
Right.
year been eating them.
Yeah.
My mother's shocked. She so
Now,
finally,
how do you eat yours? Do you just I like mine with just butter and salt.
I just don't put
Pepper.
anything on them usually.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to put some sugar on them just a little bit, just
Right.
because but I'm not. Look, I'm only eating them because my doctor told me I needed to. Trust me, I'm not a huge fan, and I like the white grits, not the yellow.
Right.
But
Yeah, I
I
like the
mean,
white grits best.
but and I do it only because I'm kind of made to, and I can't eat them all. But look, my mom is happy I'm actually doing it. But
Right.
growing
There you
up,
go.
I wouldn't touch grit. I would fight you. I would throw them off my plate. I just didn't like them.
Well, every time my daughter's there for the weekend or comes to spend the night or whatever, I always get up every morning and make her grits because
Mhm.
she loves them too.
Yeah, but now mama's happy. So if my mom
Right.
is happy, I'm a happy girl.
Yeah, that's
All right,
right.
let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to get into some dumb crook news. We're live in local real talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. We'll be right back with some stupid stories.
Oh, great.
All right, and we are back, and it's Friday. So, for those that do not know, on Fridays, I always do dumb crook news because I feel like a lot of us have stressful jobs, and there's just a lot of chaos going on in the world these days. So,
Yes, there
we need
is.
some things that are just
We need some
to laugh
fun.
at, and some things that like
That's right.
just to help us kind of come down a little bit. So, I'm going to start in Russia. I don't always get a lot of Russia dumb crook news, but so a guy, now what a moron. So Saturday, a guy tried to rob a sex store, like a store where you sell like a Adam and Eve or a
Toys
Priscilla's, where the
and
toys and stuff.
clothing and
Now, of
all
all
sorts
the
of stuff.
stores you're trying to rob, that would probably not be not even in my top 10 of stores I
so
would
much
choose.
I could say here.
And I agree. And I
Mhm.
don't know if he was robbing them of money, if he was trying to robbing them of goods, a combination of both. But anyway, he got his butt tore up by the clerk. There's even still video. I printed out so you can see
Oh,
that later.
yes.
She beat him over the head with an 18-inch dildo.
Don't mess with the
And there's
best.
security
Mm-mm.
camera footage. She kicked this guy's butt. He got away. He didn't get money. He didn't get his items, but he was not arrested. But police are looking for him to charge
Well, I
him with
guess it'll be a
robbery.
quiet
Yeah.
night in his house tonight.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. So I came upon this story from during the Lord have mercy. It happened in February 25th, 2021 in Hartsville, South Carolina. Oh, you are absolutely going to love this.
Mm.
So this guy tried to rob a bank through the drive-up teller. So,
Well,
like
that's
through the
stupid.
drive-up lane. So, like my bank, there's 3 lanes. So you put your stuff in that little tube and it shoots up through and goes into the
Right.
bank. He was
What,
in
he
a
put his gun up there?
It gets
Oh, my
better.
God. I
He's
just
59
can't
years old.
even.
His name is Angel Lewis Masdew, but he also goes by an alias of Angel Masdev. Don't know why. He got a taxi, had the taxi to take him to the bank. He placed the envelope containing a handwritten note demanding money into the tube. The note said he will kill people or blow up the bank if his demands were not met. Now, okay, y'all, this man is some kind of dumb because there's no real threat, honestly,
Right.
because the guy's in the car, they're in the bank. So what did the teller do? Activated the alarm.
Oh.
So it gets better. While he's waiting for all this to occur, so he'd already sent the note in the tube, he got nervous and he asked the taxi driver to drive him away. The taxi driver refused. And do you want to know why? Now, the taxi driver didn't know what was going on.
He had not paid the fare?
Well, he had not gotten the receipt back from the bank,
Oh.
because he's like, well, hold up, you hadn't got your stuff back yet.
Oh.
So he said, I'm not leaving until the teller sends us your stuff back. So he's like arguing with the
Oh, my gosh.
taxi driver. The taxi driver had no clue what was happening. Well, meanwhile, the teller activates the alarm. Across the street from the bank was a police officer sitting in his car. He gets the call that there's a bank robbery at XYZ Bank, and he looks out, and sees the guy sitting in the taxi. Easy. So what does the police officer do? Goes over there, arrests him, of course, because the driver wouldn't leave. Now, I don't know why he didn't just jump out of the car, but whatever he didn't, like I said, dumb.
Could you imagine being the taxi driver and not really realizing
and not really
what was
knowing
going
until the police
on?
show up, guns drawn.
Oh, God.
And so anyway, he will spend 6 years in prison because on Tuesday it was announced that he pled guilty. They finally got his sentence or whatever. So 72 months in federal prison, no less, which means he's going to do
Sure.
that entire 72 months.
Sure.
And when he's released, he will have 3 years of probation.
That's
Yikes!
dumbness
Yikes! I'm
to
telling you,
the
dumb.
extreme.
I'm telling you. All right. In Tacoma, Washington, back this past winter.
Why is it a lot of Washington?
I don't know. It's like Florida.
It's always
Yeah.
Washington.
So in Tacoma, Washington, 2 guys broke into a house. Now, it had snowed a lot. So when they broke into the house, they were still in the house doing whatever they were doing because the house was not occupied. When the police showed up, because the owner saw one that they had camera, because everybody has cameras now. So they saw that these guys were breaking into their house. So they called the police. So the police showed up. They guys take off running, but the police started laughing. And they're like, yeah, we got this. Because once again, it was snowing, a lot of snow. So what did the police officer do? Just started following the footprints. And the guys went, they like split up. So one guy, they followed the footprints to a church parking lot. He was in a dumpster hiding, arrested him.
Mm-hmm.
Another guy, what a total moron, was hiding in a tree. Oh, and guess what? Both of these 2 guys had drugs on them. So not only did they get a breaking and entering burglary charge, they got drug charges as well. Nice.
Yeah,
Yes.
sometimes you wonder.
Yeah. I am
Sometimes
telling
wonder.
you cannot make this stuff up. Yeah.
These people must have just grown up doing nothing but watching cartoons all
I
day
don't
long
know how
because
they thought
sure
this was
are
going to
not
work. Yeah.
in touch with reality.
It would not pay to break into a house these days because everybody has cameras. It just
Everybody has
yeah.
cameras and
Inside and outside. It's like a
everybody has
both.
guns
Yeah.
and most people
Wow.
have dogs. So.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's take a break. And I've got a story that is honestly,
wait.
when I saw it, I thought there's no way this is legit. And it was. So, because it just, it's Oklahoma. So, and that's why I was like, wow. So, you're live and local real talk. Was funny. And I think, Lee, Tim, the donkey man, will appreciate this.
Oh,
so,
good.
We're live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. We'll be right back. All right, and we're back. And if I got a story, Lee, that you are just going to be like, there's no way
Oh, I
this is
can't wait for
legit.
this one.
But I verified it. It's a real thing.
Okay.
All right. So, oh, man. Whew, okay. So in Oklahoma, now let me get back now. Okay, I'm sorry. The guy was from Oklahoma, but he was in Carthage, Missouri. I don't even know where that is. So, two men had a truck, and they went to an adult video store. Okay. Um, One of the men fell asleep while the other one went into the store. Now, let me stop by saying they also had a goat with them. Now, I first questioned why two men and a goat were outside of an adult video store, but probably don't want to know that.
So this story's going to get my goat, right?
Yes. So while the guy was inside the store buying adult videos, his buddy was in the truck, fell asleep with the goat. So when the guy woke up, there was a guy named Brandon Kirby pointing a gun at his head driving.
What?
Yes. He's like, wait, where's my friend?
Oh my
So
gosh.
Mr. Kirby had stole the truck. And this happened when it says Wednesday. Had stole the truck, and my goodness gracious. So they were headed to Oklahoma because that's where the guy Brandon Kirby, who's the perpetrator, was from. But he went through 3 states. Mr. Kirby was using meth, pistol whipping the passenger, threatening the goat. And
I'm more worried about the goat.
yes,
Can you imagine the goat in the back
yeah,
of the
I know, right?
pickup?
The goat's probably like, what's happening right now? Yes.
It's a wonder he didn't.
So
good Lord.
what happened was in Creek County, Oklahoma, wherever that is, Mr. Kirby, for whatever reason, after all this, stealing the truck, beating the man, holding him at gunpoint, pistol whipping him, using meth, let the man and the goat out and continued on with the truck. Yes. So the guy in the truck called 911, reported this. So the police caught up to him. Mr. Kirby was charged with kidnapping, pointing a firearm, being a felon in possession of a firearm. Then when they ran his name, they found out he was wanted in a different Oklahoma county for burglary, and he has multiple prior felony convictions, including assault, burglary, and possession of a stolen vehicle. This guy's going to jail for a long time. They need to add animal cruelty to this. I'm just going to say, as an animal lover, they need to. They didn't, but they need to. What?
Well, I see the need to
you
go.
You can't make this stuff up.
I see the need to go to counseling.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
Oh, that's a crazy story.
And then, so this guy did not want to go to work, and he was in Arizona. Okay, if you just call out sick, okay?
Right.
He was on a water tower. He was found with his hands tied behind his back and a bandana in his mouth. He said he'd been kidnapped, knocked out, drove around, and dumped by the water tower. Police investigated. They could not find any evidence. Turns out he was absolutely making it up. He worked at a tire store and did not want to go to work.
Oh my gosh.
So there's that. So anyway, that's our Dumb Crook News for the day. We appreciate everybody listening in. I want everybody to have a wonderful weekend. Be careful, when you're driving with the rain. And we will see you again on Monday morning at 7 o'clock. Have a wonderful weekend. Everyone be safe.